If you liked what you see in this video, I also urge you to connect to me for a free 20-minute consultation. You can contact me at this email. Also, as I mentioned, right now my book is on promo for 2 days only. I'm doing it only once this 6 months. And so you can get the book today at a discount of 45% and tomorrow for 30%, and then it goes back to normal. It has stories from 96 sites. It has a bunch of checklists and tools and things that you can use beyond your content marketing strategy. And that would be it for me, and I'm ready for Q&A and would like to hear from Amanda what we have so far. Amanda?
Hi, Yulia. Thanks so much for that. We have a couple questions that have come in. The first question from Charlie is asking if this deck will be available. Do you want to share where we'll follow up with this? You can share.
Of course, of course. We'll definitely share the deck, and hopefully we also are recording the video so you can refer to the video as well.
That's right. And we'll follow up with all attendees with links to all of those assets. The second question is, how can I find the topics or the types of content that my customers would like?
Well, you need to know where, first you need to know who is your customer, right? And where they're going, what they're looking at. Can you give me an example what kind of site you are? And I can.
I'll respond and then I'll see if we get an answer back.
Mm-hmm. But I think what I would do, let's say if I were to be a hair product that targets specific audience, maybe only people with curly hair. So I would definitely try to understand what kind of topics they're interested in. So I already know those are women, and they're probably mostly ethnic women. And so I will find publications and magazines they read. I will find the issues they deal with, celebrities they like to follow, societal issues they're dealing with, and of course tying back to the product. What are the difficulties, what are the benefits. They're also living human beings, right? They participate in Valentine's Day, they fall in love, they have children. All of those things can be leveraged for content creation. Even if you're a B2B e-commerce site, you can learn about your customers from the industry events you go to, from the calls your service people have, or maybe you have directly, and you can produce content based on the questions they usually ask you, or based on the information that you do deliver as a salesperson to them that helps them understand your product and it sells it. So you can create that kind of content. Really, the idea here is to try to pretend to enter the shoes of your customer and live in their experience for a day or two, and consume potential content they have, go to events, and visualize that. Amanda, do we have?
We do. We have a second question. Thank you for that. And it's a B2B furniture company.
B2B furniture.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means, like, what are the, like, who are, first of all, who is the shoppers for the B2B furniture? Is it administrative assistant, or is it someone in the purchasing department? What are the things that they're dealing with? I think a good site that has I think I've seen some of these, I think Staples or Shoutlet.com, they had very interesting campaigns I've seen before that do target people who make those purchasing decisions, as opposed to everybody else. I think I've seen it in the messaging on their site. So, you really need to step into the shoes of your buyer and speak their language. So and people who run their own businesses, if they buy their furniture, you have to use a different language versus if you're to be a purchasing department, or it will be a person who's a project manager. They respond to different kind of copy, different kind of content. They have their own issues, and so you need to speak that and test it as well. You can test it on PPC campaigns or on Facebook campaigns to see what works.
Right. The second question is a little long, and I'm just going to read it out loud to you. What are your thoughts on long tail content? We're an auto parts e-com site and utilize a built-out strategy of long tail pages to try to capture as many potential customers as possible. Do you think it's better to have a few longer mainstream content pages or many short content pages?
I think I would look at this strategy. Well, the long term could be harder to produce, and you need to have significant volume. But then again, it's something that might be showing up on Google more often. But what I see is you need to have a combination of maybe less brand specific content, unless it's a top brand, so that you show up in stuff that's not so long tail, because you might get a higher volume of traffic that comes up when it's more not generic, but more on a category level. So I would try to find a balance and see what works. But unless you have a specific product or two that are just selling so good, then of course, creating content that supports them is a no-brainer.
Okay, great. I have one last question. Referencing the Sattva mattress example, what type of content can I produce specifically for reviews?
Well, if what they do, their review, if you look at their reviews, it's coming from people who tried their mattress. It's talking about the sleep quality. And I think what you need to know, if you already have some group of people who are happy with your product and they happy to leave reviews, try to engage with them directly. In fact, even if we take Amazon, they have the most reviews than any site on earth, but they have many programs where they have special reviewers, people who are become part of the program. They're paid somehow, or maybe they're given products to try, or maybe there are some other incentives. So, or maybe there are customers that get some kind of incentive as well. And so you need to leverage your shoppers the same way, or people who already bought. But you need to do most of the work for them, which is come up with what kind of reviews they can have. You can get a sense what they bought, and ask them. You can even call, if you can call, connect to them, say, hey, what do you think? You can even create some kind of a content already, pre-populate them in the email, and they say, is this the experience that you had? If not, what did you have? But make it so easy so that they can actually leave that review to you. So I think the question here again is how I'm going to leverage my creative ability to do so. And in order to, most of the creative ideas come from other people. Somebody already done it already. So you just go on some of the sites that I shared, and you can discover more and more. And then you start paying attention yourself, what really grabs your attention. Like what kind of reviews grab your attention? You can Google funny reviews again on Amazon, or you can go funny reviews on your specific category, come up with ideas there. There are some sites that used to use comedians to come up with reviews, so maybe there is a way to play here. If you are selling a serious product, then do read what this mattress e-commerce site is selling and see what they do. My tactic to come up with creative ideas, I first search, look, Google, then I discover, and then you have tools. like I said, scoop it. You can create a bunch of topics that you would know the keywords that will bring you interesting content. There is BuzzFeed, Newsworthy. All of those are good things to set up so that you can exercise your creative muscle.
Thanks so much, Julia. So we're just at our time now. It's 1 minute after 11. We'll follow up with everybody who's attended so that you can see the presentation deck and the video of this, the recording of this webinar. You can also get in touch with Julia directly at contact@commercebrain.com and eZdia at sales@eZdia.com.